Hello teachers, this is the instructional guide for primary 2, term 3, week 4. For this week, there are 2 booklets. The first booklet is actually the one that the second booklet that we're supposed to do last week, right? But I decided not to, so that students can spend some time on correction. So regardless of that, let me quickly take you through the first booklet. All right, so the first booklet is division. Using multiplication facts of 3. Okay, so please get them to understand that 6 divided by 3 means that you are splitting 6 into 3 groups. Okay, so this reinforces the idea, right? So 6 divided by 3 means 6 you share equally among 3 groups, right? So you get 2, right? So 3 groups of 2 is 6, right? So to understand the multiplication facts as well, right? 6 divided by 3 equals 2. 2 times 3 equals 6. Okay. All right. So work them through that, right? And then guided practice. You might want to do a few questions with them, or if you think they're comfortable, you can get them to do on their own, and you just walk around, right, to check on them. I think it should be quite easy, so most of them would be able to get it. Somehow it's scaffolded, right? So a few repetitive questions. You might want to get them to do 1 or 2 questions totally on their own if they've not done it during guided practice, right? So if they have done it under guidance, then for independent practice, please ask them to do a couple of questions their own. Now, one thing is important is I would like you to pay attention to the use of the word row, right? Because sometimes students don't understand what row is. Let me see whether this is yeah, there you go. So for example, if you go to page 14, right, question 3, complete the multiplication and division facts of each picture. So here they are supposed to understand rows, right? There are how many counters in each row. You remind them that row actually means, well, if you tell them vertical line, sorry, horizontal line, they probably will not get it, right? So try to get them to think about, because in classroom it's very strange. Sometimes a student may say, sit in this row, row number 7, but it's actually column. Okay, so that's where they get confused, right? Row is actually the vertical line. You got to tell them, sorry, horizontal line, I keep saying row. So there are actually 3 rows, right? And each row has got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are 6 counters in each row. And there are 3 rows, so 3 times 6 equals, okay, 18. And then the multiplication facts, right? 18 divided by 3 equals 6. Okay, so make sure that you do a few questions with them on that. After that, yeah, I'm actually fine because it's quite straightforward. Okay, you can get them practice a bit on their own. So usually for this one, it just takes a lot of practice. Okay, because once they are familiar with multiplication of 3, they should be able to do division. Okay, get them to do an in-out question. All right, so perhaps get them to do question 20. Right, 6 divided by 3 equals 2. 15 divided by 3 equals, if they cannot remember, what to ask them, 3 times which number gives you 15, right? So that's using multiplication facts. 3 times which number gives you 30. Okay, all right, and then let's see. Yeah, multiplication division, right? Can actually get them to a bit of question 21. And finally, okay, perhaps to do a few questions from 24. All right, to test them whether they understand. So for example, which number divided by 3 equals 3? So they can use multiplication fact. That will be 3 times 3, right? If they divide here 3 equals 3, then use 3 times 3. This will be different, right? 6 divided by which number equals 3? So 6 divided by 2 will be equals to that number, right? And you can get them to also think about which number multiplied by 3 gives you 6. Okay, and that's it for this question, all right, for this booklet. Now we move on to multiplication table 4. So one way you can do this, right, is to, if let's say the rest are still working on it and while waiting for the rest to get ready, you might ask them to memorize. I know we try not to get students to memorize, but it can be a simple game. Okay, see, let's get to memorize 4 times table, right? Keep them maybe about 2-3 minutes. And this will give a good gauge, right, on who is better, right? Who is more efficient in doing multiplication 4, so that during lesson, okay, you can focus on the weaker ones, right? So I use that as a gauge. Okay, even for last week's topic, all right, so I get them to do multiplication, and then I know, okay, some of the students are quite strong, then I focus on the weaker ones, right, who have had a hard time doing multiplication of 4. Okay, so after that, do things something proper, right? What is 3 times 2? What is 3 times 4? Get them to understand, know that multiplying a number by 4 is the same as multiplying a number by 2 and then doubling the result. Okay, so this portion, some may find it a bit difficult to understand, right? Because it's understanding of 2 and 4, right? So whatever the answer, then you multiply by 2 again, you get the answer. All right, so it's understanding multiplication of 4 used by understanding multiplication of 2, right? So let's try it out, see whether they understand it, right? If not, it's actually not the end of the world. Okay, so very important question for you to do with them is 5 times 4 is 4 less than 6 times 4, right? 4 more. So it's understanding of grouping. 5 groups of 4 is 1 group of 4 less than 6 groups of 4. Please explain them using this way. Okay, and then I think the rest of the question, right, quite straightforward. Get them finish your guided practice, check it. Okay, after that, you can, where's independent practice? Let me see. Yeah. So they can do up to 8, right? Check on their work. And you think they are okay with that, right? We can actually skip, depending on the time that you have with them left, right? You can skip to the later questions, okay, which you find may be more challenging, right? There's a multiplication table of 4 that you can fill in as well. So you can play as a game, right? Fastest person to fill that in. But what I'd like you to do, right, with them is especially question number, let's see. So question 14. Okay, sorry, I forgot about in-out one, right? So get them to do at least one in-out question. Page 23 will be good, right? In-out question. Page 23, which is one? Yeah, this one, okay? Page 23, question 11. That's an in-out question. After that, this one, if you think they're up for it, you can test them, right? You can test them, okay? These are testing of multiplication of different number, not just 4. And the question that I would like you to get them to do is a few questions from question 15 and maybe 2 questions from question 16, A and B. Okay, and that's it, right, for this week's topic. Thank you.